Hello everyone, I'm Sandeep from Stravis IT Solutions. Today we are going to discuss about S4 HANA and ECC differences. So when we are going to check these differences, the major part that we are going to look into is the business partner, output management, credit management, Fiori apps that we have in HANA, the reports, how they are different in HANA, and LTMC versus LSMW. So going to the business partner, how it is going to be there how it is going to be different than the ECC. So let's go into the business partner. BP is the transaction that we are using for business partner. If you see, while creation we have got three different roles we can choose out of which. First one is a person. You can create a person, you can create an organization, or you can create a group. If you see the similar transaction in ECC, we have to use XD01 for the creation of, say, customer. So in this one you can see that there is no such organization or let's say a person or let's say a group kind of a thing which is available into HANA. And if you see further, you can see that account group is there in the creation mode for the ECC transaction code, whereas in HANA you have got in creation mode, if you go into the creation mode, we have got a BP role as an additional thing which will be giving you flexibility to choose whether you want to create a financial data for the customer or you want to create a sales area data for the customer or the relevant data that you need. So for that you can choose FLCU00 or FLCU01, or for the general data you can use the FS00 for the financial services BP. If you see the chain mode of this particular customer, then you will see that there are company code data, sales area data which are there available when you are going into the chain mode. But similarly, if you go into the BP chain mode, you have to go and select different roles. Let's go into the chain mode once. So if I choose a customer, a business partner here, I can see that there are different roles that I need to select in order to see the information related to the accounting or the sales area data or the general data. So in order to see the accounting information, I need to select the role FLCU00. But if you see the same thing into ECC, you need not to choose any role. You can go into the company code data based on your inputs in the beginning of the screen itself. The second major difference that you can find out is about the creation of custom master into ECC, for which we use XD01. There we have got a reference field which allows us to copy the data from a particular customer, and you can change the details of that particular customers later on, like the general data, but the company code data and the sales area data can be kept as it is. This particular functionality is possible into ECC. But if you see HANA system, the business partner, it doesn't allow you to copy anything. While you are creating, there is no copy as button. So you have to go with the new fields, the new entries all the time. You cannot use it as a reference. Now going to the next difference that we have found out. So we'll go into the ECC system to see how we can do the blocking of a customer. So we have to use XD05 to do that. So this is what we have to maintain in order to block the customer. Whereas you can block it centrally using this particular financial accounting role. And if you go into the company code and into the customer status role, you can see that you can block it for the all company code or the selected company code, or you can even put the deletion flag. The next difference that we have is that there is a credit management data maintained in the business partner itself instead of going into an ECC transaction FD32. So it's kind of clubbing of this all information into a business partner instead of using different other transactions. So let's see the credit management data. We're going into the chain mode. Now we are selecting a different role which will allow us to see the credit management data, which is UKM00. So for this, I'm going to choose UKM00. So if you go into the credit profile of the business partner, we can see what risk class it is having, customer group it is having, and all other credit related information we can maintain it here, so that we can see the credit details of this particular customer inside the customer master or BP itself. Whereas if you go to ECC, the similar information, to see the similar information we have to go to FD32 transaction. Now looking into the output management, the difference between HANA and ECC mainly lies into the configuration. So we'll see the output management, how it is different in HANA than ECC system. So if you see the ECC screen, for output management we are using NES as a transaction, which will be helpful for doing the output control configuration. We have got three options: V1, V2, V3, sales, shipping and billing, out of which let's say we are selecting V2. By selecting that, you can create output control. You can simultaneously create sequence also, access sequence. So going into the output type, you can see that there are standard output types for delivery note. So this is how we do configuration of output into ECC. Going into HANA, we have to go to a configuration place in SPRO, and if you see that the output control is actually coming under the cross application components, and under output control we can do the configuration. So if you follow the configuration details that SAP has released regarding HANA output control, this concept is called as a BRF plus concept. You have to actually start the output configuration with creating of application object type activation, which we just are going to see right now. So this is an application object type. We are going to keep it the application active. Simultaneously, after finishing this particular step, the second step is similar to what we are doing in ECC, define output type. So under that application object, you can create new output type. Here the output type which is created by standard SAP billing document is already existing. So on similar lines, let's say there are some other steps also, like defining business rule for the output determination, assigning the output channels. So these all things are kind of different than what we used to do in HANA, what we used to do in ECC. Let's see one such example going into the define business rules for output determination. So this particular page is now directing me to a web page wherein we can configure it for the billing document or for the outbound delivery. It's kind of a master data that we used to do it in VV11, VV21. So on similar lines, we have got this particular configuration or let's say a master data kind of maintenance which is present in this particular output parameter determination. So you can do this particular setup. There is a show rules wherein you can select the billing document. Simultaneously, let's say for billing documents what you are selecting, you have a determination step also. Once the billing document is selected, then you can go to the determination step and select the output type. Then it will allow you to maintain the business rule. So let's say for this billing document type, what output type it is having, and on the similar billing document type we can maintain other parameters like the output type. Currently it is showing it as maintained, and the dispatch time when it wants to be dispatched or when it is supposed to print. So these are parameters. These all parameters are kind of different than what we used to have in ECC.